Hey folks, good morning. It is Thursday, January 5th, 2017. I thought I would do another video. And let me turn my sound down because I'm going to get a little bit of feedback here. I'm going to do another video today on Snapchat from scratch, sending private messages. We didn't touch on this yesterday, so I wanted to do it today so you know how to send private messages to people within Snapchat. There's a bunch of different ways that you can do it, and the different ways that you can do it will cause the results on the other end, on the recipient's end, it'll have different results for them, and that'll make sense when we kind of roll up our sleeves and do this, and I'll explain as we're doing each type of message send what they're going to get on the other end. So let's just dive right in. And one other thing, what do you think of my, please leave a message down below on, this is live streaming on Facebook Live, so please leave a message down below if you're watching this in live or replay, and let me know what you think of my new screen. I worked this up last night because I wasn't really satisfied with the lower thirds, which is the banner at the bottom. I wasn't really satisfied with my options for the lower thirds with the Wirecast software. They have a bunch of prepackaged lower thirds that you can use. And I've seen some that I like better that other people are using that aren't within Wirecast, and I don't know if those are lower thirds that they created or if those are within a package of software they're using. But I decided to create my own using my Adobe software, so I'm really happy with it, and I can do a bunch of different things with it. So you'll kind of see as we move through this tutorial what we can do. Now, one thing I don't like is I don't like how dark this around my face is during the video. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because as I learn and build my studio and learn how to do this stuff, I'm going to teach you how to do it as well. So if you're looking at setting up your studio or broadcasting live and you want to get started, really none of this stuff is extremely hard. You've just kind of got to try and have your errors, and ultimately you're going to succeed. So, you know, I spent all evening long last night creating my lower third and getting it the way I wanted. In fact, I just did some of it today. The bottom right-hand side, there is a Todd.LIVE logo that I just received today, and I don't know if that's how I'm going to keep it, but I threw it in there just for shits and giggles today to see how I would like this. But I don't like the lighting. The lighting in this room isn't good. I've got overhead cans in the ceiling with indoor floodlights. They're great, but I don't generally like overhead light anyway. I'm kind of sensitive to light. I prefer it darker, which is why I have a bunch of lamps. I have a lamp over there with 2 light bulbs in it. I have a lamp over here, and between the overheads and these 3 lamps, that's the lighting I have. And so I think with the video, I'm just not getting good lighting. So I've been looking at studio lighting, but the first thing I want to do is try to get some lighting coming from behind the camera in my direction. So I ordered something today. Let me show it to you. Or I ordered it yesterday, actually. Let me show it to you real quick. Okay. It goes. I think I get it on the 7th. I don't know if the tripod that comes with it looks like a stand-up tripod, like a big tripod. And if you saw the desk that I'm sitting at, you'll realize I'm up against a wall. So I don't have that kind of space to put a big tripod behind it. I probably can put this Diva ring light back there, but I don't think that I can put the tripod. So I'll show you what I've got. I always have tons of these around, okay? These Cowboy Studio tripods, they're like 15 bucks. They don't come with the top. This top is made by a company called Square Jellyfish. That's an iPad mount. But these Cowboy Studio tripods, I love them. And I mean, I've got probably 20 of these things between my house and the condo where I have my office. So these things are great. and I'm going to see if I can mount the ring, the Diva Studio light on top of this thing and put it behind the camcorder that I have that I'm using right now. So as that develops, I'll keep you posted and let you know what I think of it. But I definitely need to improve the lighting for my videos because this is just not quality lighting at all. In fact, that lamp pointing sideways is going to bug me this whole time if I leave it that way. Okay, so let's dive right in and talk about Snapchat, sending private messages in Snapchat. Now, one thing you could do if you're watching this live on Facebook is you could share this video with your crowd, hit the share button and share it, like it, leave a comment. I won't know you're here unless you leave a comment. In fact, there is a way for me to interact with you if you leave comments, but I haven't set myself up for that right now. I'm going to see if I can do that really quick. But let's see here. I just have to go to my page on this other iPad and see what happens. Yeah. Okay. So there it is. I don't see anybody in here quite yet, which is unfortunate. But anyway, go ahead and leave a comment so I know that you dropped by. Share it with your friends, whatever. You know, any little bit helps. I'm trying to get these videos out there. So, you know, if you can share them with your crowd, particularly if you are an influencer and you happen to be watching this video, please share it with your crowd. I would greatly appreciate it because they very well might want to be kind of tuned into what I'm talking about here. This may help them out. Even though there's a lot of people that are, I mean, it's kind of like if you're not on Snapchat yet, you're really behind on things. But look, there's a lot of people. The wave hasn't even happened yet, even though it seems like it has. I don't think it's happened yet. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, let me transition to where we've got my iPad. Okay, we are using my iPad again today. I don't use my phone because if I get a phone call or something like that, we're going to be disturbed, right? Okay, so since I hooked this all up this morning, I've had 2 people add me. Let's see what's going on there. Okay, I don't know either of those people, so we can back up out of that. I know that, and keep in mind that the Wirecast, when you're watching this video, everything is a little bit delayed. Sometimes I talk about something that is going on the screen of the iPad, and it won't show up on the iPad on your screen for a moment. And the reason that is there's a slight delay, and I don't know why that is. It's something that I'm going to try to get to the bottom of, but I don't know that it's really anything that I can do anything about. It's just the nature of it. Okay, so let's talk about sending messages. Okay, so we're in this screen already. This is this is the screen that you can handle most, you know, some, if not most, of your account preferences on. You can deal with your friends right there on the top right-hand screen. We talked about this yesterday. You can go into your settings and you can do all sorts of things in your settings. We're not going to talk about settings today. We're just going to talk about sending people messages. Okay? So if you want to send somebody messages from this area of Snapchat, you can. You can go into My Friends, and there is going to be a list of people that you're friends with. And I have them, well, they're alphabetical in this list, as you can see. And I have an A next to people who I think are people that I would want to watch if I have time to watch Snapchat content. So let's say I want to send Austin Uliano a message. I can hold my finger down on his name, and a bubble will pop up that gives me a few options, okay? If I want to send him a private message, I can hit the little box on the bottom left, the turquoise box, and it will take me to a prompt that says send a chat, and it will give me a keyboard that will allow me to type if I'd like. And I'm not going to send it because I don't want to bother Austin today with nonsense while I tutor you guys. Okay, so if I want to send that Todd.LIVE, I can send that right away by hitting the button send. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. If I want to send him a picture on the far left there, I can go into the pictures and I can select something from pre-made pictures within Snapchat. Oh, actually, those aren't. Those are from my camera roll. And I think because I share a cloud with my daughter, I'm getting a bunch of things from my daughter's cloud. So anyway, So I can pick something from my camera roll to send him. Now, the thing is once you touch something, it sends. So I'm not going to touch any of those items. I'm not going to touch the QR code. I'm not going to touch the whale because I don't want to send that to Austin right now. Okay? So I can push the send a chat dialog box once again and get rid of the pictures. Now, I can push the button in the middle, and that will take me to the home screen. Or it's not technically your home screen, but it's a duplicate of your home screen. And this has what you need to send a picture or a video. So if I want to send a picture, I can tap the button in the middle one time. And when I do that, it'll take a still shot. And as you can see, you'll have to watch my video yesterday for all the edits that you can do on a picture. But as you can see at the top is the scissors, the decal button, the text button, and the drawing feature. Okay? All that exists at the top once you take your picture. So you can do what you want. I showed you how to do this in a video yesterday. You can find that on YouTube or you can find that on my Facebook. But you can decorate the picture in any fashion that you would like. You can write text. You can move the text where you want. You can draw. You can do whatever you want. Now notice at the bottom of the screen, because this is a picture, I can choose how long I want the picture to exist for Austin if he were to open it. So if I want to send it to him and I think he needs 10 seconds to look at the picture, then I'm going to set it at 10. If it's nonsensical like this picture is, I might set it at 1. So he's like looking at it and like, what the hell? Okay. I can also save this picture if I want with the button to the right of the timer. It has the arrow button. That will save it to my camera roll on my phone if I want to save this picture. And then, of course, at the bottom, it says Austin Uliano, send. If I want to send this to him, I can send it to him right away. Or I can tap that bar at the bottom to add more friends. If I want to send it to Social Guru also, and it will take a minute for the screen to catch up. If I want to send it to a Social Guru also, I can check the box next to Social Guru and add him as well. I don't want to send it to either one of them. So I'm going to back up using the left-hand button at the top of the screen, and I'm going to hit the X, and I'm going to get rid of that picture altogether. Now, if I want to do a video, I'm going to give it a minute for the Wirecast. There we go. If I want to do a video, I can hold down on the button, start recording a video, let go of it, and I have all the same features that I had for the photograph, okay? So either way, pictures or video, you have the same options. The only real difference is that as you're decorating your video, it's going to replay the video over and over again with the sound, which is going to be quite annoying, okay? So you just have to be quick. And as you get more talented with Snapchat, it doesn't really bother you because you whip through your creating content so fast that you might hear yourself loop once or twice, but it happens so fast that you're not even thinking about it anymore. So I'm going to get rid of that. So that's how you message people from the status and the add friend screen and the where you manage your account. So I'm going to hit the arrow at the bottom right hand corner, and I'm going to get rid of that entirely because I don't want to send anybody a chat. Hold on a minute. Oh, it actually sends you, when you hit that, it sends you to the chat area. So when you exit out, you don't exit out into your main menu where you handle your account's affairs, okay? It just leaves you in the chat area. So I didn't realize that. When you go to my friends and if I want to send Austin a chat and I hit that chat button, when I exit out of this thing, it's going to dump me right into the chat area, which if you watched my other video, which I highly recommend because it's great, it's about a 1-hour video and it's all the basics for Snapchat. From the home screen, when you first turn Snapchat on from your phone, when you swipe left to right or select the bottom at the bottom of the button at the bottom of the screen that says chat, you go to the chat area. So I guess when you're in the add friends area and you decide you want to send somebody a message directly, it's going to just zap you right over to the chat screen, which is to the left of the home screen. I know that sounds convoluted, but as you work your app, you are going to figure this out. It's going to be so easy. It's going to just amaze you. Okay, so here we go. we have left the home screen and swiped left to right and gone straight to the chat screen. Okay. Now, if I want to send Kayla a chat, a snap of any kind, well, first of all, before we send one to Kayla, if I want to just create a private snap to someone, I can hit that big button in the middle. Actually, I think that sends me to the home screen. It does. Never mind. Okay, so if I want to send Kayla a snap directly, I can just touch her name, and I go to the same exact box that I went to from the add friends when I chose the little speech bubble in Austin's name, when I held my finger over his name. So it's all the same feature, okay? And same functionality. And if you hold your finger down on somebody's name like Kayla, it brings up her picture, it brings up her snap name, and there's the birthday icon, the zodiac symbol, and there's her snap score, 1600. And then if I want to send her I think if I want to send her a picture, if I want to send her a picture, I can just touch the picture button in the middle, and that's actually for picture or video. Hold on a minute. I'm getting myself convoluted here. So the chat bubble takes you straight to sending text to Kayla. The camera button takes you straight to either creating a picture or a video. So if you hit the chat button first, but then you change your mind, you can hit that button in the middle and you get to the same spot as you would if you would have hit the camera the first time around. So you'll get the hang of it. And even as much as I've used Snapchat, it seems convoluted and sometimes is confusing even when I'm trying to explain something that I do every day. So I'm going to hold down on Kayla again. I believe that right arrow button is if I want to send her snap code to somebody else. Let's see what happens. Yes, I can send her contact information to anybody in that list, but that's a subject for another day, okay? And then there's the gear button. This is a subject for another day, but I'll show you while I'm here. I can edit Kayla's name, I can remove her from a friend, or I can block her, or I can cancel out of that. And then the button on the left is if I want to send her snap code to my phone, to my camera roll, so then I can actually, I think I can even email it. Yes, I can email, message, send it to notes, whatever I want to do. I can send it to one of my other computers. I can do whatever I want to do, or I can cancel out of it. Okay, so that's sending messages privately within the chat section, which is to the left of the home screen when you first log in, swiping left to right. Now, you can send messages to people directly from their stories. So let's go to the stories. Okay, so there's Ty Lopez. I bet if I send him a message, it never gets read. He probably gets just bombarded with tons of information and messages from people. And not that he wouldn't want to read my message. I'm not saying it's not anything negative about Ty. It's just he's probably just pounded with messages. I've sent private messages within Snapchat to Gary Vaynerchuk on a couple of occasions, and none of them have gotten read. In fact, what I've read is, or maybe I've heard it somewhere, but if somebody gets a certain amount of messages, like maybe they get 100 messages, the oldest messages past 100, if they haven't been read yet, disappear. So if I send Gary Vaynerchuk a message and within 10 minutes he gets 100 messages, if he doesn't read it during those 10 minutes, it's gone, okay? So let's say I want to send Ty Lopez a message. I can hold my finger over his name and look at there. You're going to get your chat bubble and you're going to get the camera bubble. And remember, those are going to take you right back to the chat feature, the chat section of Snapchat, which is to the left of the home screen. So I'm going to get rid of that simply by touching anywhere outside that dialog box, the snap bubble, whatever you want to call it. So I can send Ty Lopez a snap personally to him from within his Snap story. Maybe. I think he has to follow me back in order to do this. So let's see. If I open his Snap story, oh, okay, maybe he does follow me back. Or maybe Snapchat's changed the functionality. But if you notice at the bottom of the screen, there's a little button that says chat. Okay, and I don't know if that audio is coming through to you guys. So let me make sure that it's not. Okay, you might have had audio. Sorry about that. I forgot to turn audio off on the iPad. Okay, so what you're seeing is Ty Lopez's story. Notice at the bottom, I'll say what I said a minute ago again in case the audio from the iPad was coming through to you guys. And the audio, I know it pretty much sucks when it comes from the iPad through Wirecast. Okay, so at the bottom there's a chat button. So let's say one of these stories, I want to send Ty Lopez a chat from within a story. What that chat button does, if I push it, it allows me to send a chat about that particular piece of content, okay? So when Ty Lopez opens up my message to him, he's going to have a little box that has a part of a picture. It's like a thumbnail of this individual piece of content that he created, so he knows what I'm responding to. So if I want to type something like, great snap, he's going to know. I'm not going to send it because I don't want to send him nonsense. He's going to know. Let's say I send him great snap. Let's say I watch all of his content and I reference one of his snaps. Now, if you know anything about Ty Lopez, he creates Snapchat content all day long. So he may create 50, 100 pieces of content in a day. And if I say great snap, he's not going to know which individual piece of content I'm referring to. I could even say in there, let's say that he snaps through his whole day, and in the morning he's dressed to go to a meeting, and at noon he's dressed to play some basketball, and at night he's dressed to go to some sort of thing in Los Angeles where he lives, some sort of an event, like the Oscars. I think he goes to the Oscars. I mean, he goes to all these big ticket things. And I send him a private snap after I've watched all his content, and I say, hey, Ty, I love the shoes in that snap you had. Well, he had different shoes on for breakfast or the meeting in the morning. He might have had different shoes on for basketball and different shoes on for the evening. So if you send him a snap directly from the piece of content where you saw the shoes that you're complimenting him on, he'll have an idea of what you're talking about. So let's say you ask him, hey, Ty, what kind of shoes are those? Well, if he wore 3 different kinds of shoes that day, he's not going to know what the hell you're talking about. You're probably not going to get a response. But if you send him a snap where it shows the picture of him at the Oscars or something and you can see his shoes, he's going to know you're talking about those black shoes he's wearing with that suit. And he might have a moment and say, hey, those are Salvatore Ferragamo or something like that. I mean, he might have a clue what you're talking about and can answer you appropriately. So, sending people private snaps from within their content, if you have a question about something in their content, gives them the context they need to know what it is you're talking about. So that's a real important feature within Snapchat. So if you go over to the chat section and you send a message, hey, Ty, great shoes you wore today. Where'd you get those? Or what kind are those? He's not going to know what you're talking about. So it helps by, you could always say in a private snap that you're not sending directly from your messages, hey, Ty, I saw you at the Oscars. What shoes did you have? But it's also a lot easier that when you're watching someone's content, knock the message out right then, okay? The odds are that people will notice it if it's got a piece of their content attached to it. And if you want to try this, send me a private snap and I'll respond. I'll go to your story and I'll find it and I'll respond. And we'll you can see what's going on, or just send a message to somebody you'll see what's happening. It's not a big deal. So I want to back out of this. I don't want to send it. So obviously I can send it to get rid of it, but I can also tap anywhere outside the keyboard or the texting dialog box, and it goes back to his story and starts playing again. Okay, easy. So if I want to get out of Ty's story, I simply swipe down and I get out of his story. I haven't taught you guys that yet. All I've taught you is how to create snaps and send them to your storyline, and how to send messages to people individually. Okay, so let's talk a little bit, and I'll talk about this again in a video that I do on Snapchat etiquette, but let's talk a little bit about Snapchat etiquette, okay? When it comes to sending private messages. Private messages should be reserved strictly for personal communications between you and the recipient that have something to do with the recipient. So let's say that you want to tell everyone that you're enjoying a rainy day, okay? That's not a personal message that everyone needs to get privately, or anyone needs to get privately. That's something to put in your story. And that way people who are interested in you are going to see that you are enjoying a rainy day. But let's say you want to ask Ty Lopez when is his next book signing when you're in Los Angeles, because you're moving to Los Angeles and you want to meet him and you want to come to one of his book signings. That pertains directly to Ty Lopez. That is worthy of sending him a private message through Snapchat. Commenting on his content, any of his content, directly within his content, is a great reason to send him a private message. But a lot of people get on Snapchat and they immediately think everyone wants to see their cup of coffee in the morning. And so they go to the chat area, they take a picture of their coffee and they send it to everyone. Or they go to their home screen, and I'll demonstrate this really fast. They go to their home screen and they create a piece of content. They take a picture or something and they create a piece of content. And instead of using the plus story button, which is the third button over from the right, they push the blue button. And when you push the blue button, it takes you to a send to list, right? And instead of sending it to their story, and maybe they do send it to their story, they just go to their list and they check every box. You know what that does? That sends all the people that you check a private message directly to their private inbox. These people may have no interest whatsoever in you. Sure, they may be following you. Maybe they watch you sometimes. Maybe they don't give a rat's ass about your coffee, okay? They don't need to be bothered with that kind of crap. Don't do it, okay? I'm going to back out of that before I accidentally send it. These people don't want, the private messaging system is a direct channel for you to talk to anyone, including big shots, people that are famous, Ty Lopez, if you want to contact Beyonce, if you want to contact Gary Vaynerchuk, if you want to contact other thought leaders, Joel Comm, Nathan Lotka, whoever, you can contact them directly. And guess what? They tend to look at the content you send them. Now some people may not. Gary Vaynerchuk gets hammered with content. Sean Duras gets hammered with content. Some of these people get hammered with content. They may not ever see it. But, every time I've sent Pat Flynn a message, he's seen it. He hasn't responded to everything, but I don't expect him to anyway. And not everything required some sort of a response. In fact, everybody important or famous or busy maybe is the key word. I've probably sent something to a lot of famous, busy people, and probably most of them haven't responded to some of my stuff. So that's nothing about Pat Flynn. But most often, when I've sent something to Pat Flynn, he's responded. When I've sent something to Joel Comm, he's responded. When I've sent something to Jamie Masters, Nathan Lotka, you name it, they will respond, okay? They don't want their time wasted with your stupid bullshit, okay? Everyone creates snaps, if you use it enough, that could be considered stupid crap, okay? People don't want that in their private inbox. It can't be said loud enough. Just don't do it. In fact, if you're going to reach out to somebody you know is busy and gets hammered and has a busy schedule and may not want to be inundated with a lot of nonsense, think very seriously about every little bit of content you send them anyway, even if it's direct to them and pertains to them, okay? Don't bother them. You're much more likely to have a friend out of them if you don't bother them and only talk to them about something serious that they would truly be interested in, okay? Nobody, even people that aren't big names, they don't want to have their time wasted, okay? The other thing, too, is if it's in your story, don't send it to anyone privately. Unless, if it's in your story and you're going to give Gary Vaynerchuk a shout out in your story, like, hey, Gary, great video I saw today. Everybody, you need to go watch Gary's video. Then you might send it privately to Gary, that one individual snap, so that he knows that you've called out to him and you've promoted him. And he may or may not respond to you. He may choose to, he may not, whatever. Well, you don't know. So you might, that one piece of content, and if you're creating a snap story that's 10 or 20 snaps long, and Gary's snap is one of those snaps out of the 20 of them, just send him the one. Don't send him all 20. He doesn't need to see all that crap, okay? And I don't mean to call anybody's content crap, but you got to really know and create good content to send it privately. You've got to know that these people are going to want it. You don't want to waste their time. All right, look, that's about it. There may be another way or two to send individuals content privately. I think I covered it here. From the home screen, I can take a picture. I can do the send to, and I can choose people in the list if I want to send it to them privately. I think I've covered it all. I don't think there's any unless there's something I haven't thought of, and if I think of it later, then we'll talk about it later. But those are the main ways that you send people private messages within Snapchat. So feel free to do that to me. My name on Snapchat, it's not an account that I've been using heavily lately, but I'm going to be transitioning to it in the near future, is Todd.LIVE, Todd period live, L-I-V-E. Send me a private message. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you're doing with your life and your world. If you're an entrepreneur, I'd love to hear from you. If you're a want-to-be entrepreneur, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to get started in live video, if you want to get started in Snapchat and you need an extra hand, let me know. I can help you. This stuff, I've been doing it now for all of 2016. I'm passionate about it. I love it. It's fun. And it's remarkable the impact that you can have on your friendships and on the world through the use of live video, and particularly the aggressive use of live video. You produce one piece of content here and there and no one's going to see you, okay? It's like trying to scream when you're out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. But look, if you create it consistently and regularly and work hard to build your friendships and connect with people, then over time, it's going to start snowballing for you, and you're going to have a great success at reaching out to the world, making friendships, and having an impact on your brand or business, or even just your friends. I mean, if you're just doing it to make friends and be part of the gang, you know, people will love you for that too, okay? There's really no judging, unless you're sending people stupid private stuff that they don't need in their private inbox. With all that being said, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I hope you like the functionality of my studio. It's a lot of fun, what I've been able to do. And I really like being able to do the picture-in-picture with my device. I like being able to switch out different screenshots and show you what can be done, and it's not hard. I haven't learned any of this in a school or a class, okay? I learned it all on my own, by myself, with the internet. Very little. Okay, I will say this. A few things I've learned from watching YouTube videos. I mean, you have to, right? YouTube is the best place to learn things these days. I think it's better in college. Is just spend your life on YouTube, as long as you're learning shit and you're not just wasting your time watching video game crap. But if you're teaching yourself skills, how to run Photoshop, how to run Wirecast, how to run Facebook Live, how to do this, how to do that, okay? That's great stuff. That's going to carry you a long way. But I've done all this on my own. I will say that with Wirecast, I bought the $100 premium support for a year, and I'll probably buy that every year as long as I'm a Wirecast customer, because I can call them up and get a live voice on the phone, and they walk me through all the little problems that I'm having and solve it fast, and it's great. Anyway, with all that being said, listen, I appreciate you spending time with me today, learning to do Snapchat. I've got a lot more video ideas in the future for teaching people how to use Snapchat, Instagram Live, Messenger, Facebook Live. I mean, you name it, we're going to be talking about it at some point. I'm trying to do these videos on a daily basis. I want to beef up my YouTube channel. I want to get really good at doing live video and transitioning out of various shots and doing it comfortably. So this is going to be something that is going to be on almost a daily basis, if not daily, during the weekdays. In fact, I'm blocking off the hours of 8 to 12 for doing live video. I intend not to do much more, although my exercise regimen after the new year has been, I don't know, I can't get up early enough. Every morning I start my exercise around 8 or 9 in the morning, and that's right in the middle of my live video session. So we'll see how it goes. But I only need to do one live video a day as far as I'm concerned. So I'm happy to have you with me. Live Video Live is the name of the show. Please like and review. I send this to YouTube next. So if you're watching this on YouTube, obviously you're in replay. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. I will respond to every comment down below on YouTube or on Facebook. So please do it, my friends. Let me know you're out there. Until next time, stay productive and engage the world.